In this season of The Big Talk, you are going to have access to 9 of the incredible speakers who spoke at the virtual showcase from the fall 2022 cohort of the Big Talk Academy. Be sure to tune in to all 9 so that you can be fully inspired and see how these change makers, influential voices, and thought leaders are making a difference in the world. Alejandra Valenzuela is a captivating motivational speaker, life coach, and modern-day mystic who inspires audiences to look at life through a deeper lens. She is intimately attuned to the rhythms of the earth, moon, and stars, and teaches others how to rebuild these sacred relationships to find connection and purpose. Everyone, please welcome to the stage Alejandra Valenzuela with Reporting Rape is a Divine Gift, and here is why.
I couldn't believe this had happened to me again. I had been completely blindsided, confused, wondering, did it happen because I didn't report it the first time? 10 years prior, on a study abroad, that was the first time I had been raped. I was roofied at a nightclub, and the manager of the establishment had his way with me. I didn't report it then for a number of reasons. I didn't want my parents to find out. I was afraid they'd pull me out of the program and have me come home. I had been drinking, and a big part of me blamed myself, saying, "You should have known better." I found out it was common every semester for girls to get raped as I did, so there was no faith anything was going to get done. I confided in friends, compartmentalized it somewhere inside, and continued on with my life. And now, 10 years later, I had just been date raped by a man who I was introduced to through family. How could this blindside me again? And dear God, what was I going to do about it this time? Was I really going to stay silent again? If so, what kind of message would that send out? I just wanted to heal. With a tremendous amount of prayer and what I can only describe as divine intervention, something fundamentally shifted inside me, and I found the strength I needed to report it. I didn't think it would go anywhere, but if he did it again and someone else reported him, my voice would at least be there to help their case. And even if there was never going to be another voice, he needed to be stopped, even if it was only temporary. But most importantly, I wanted to send a message to God, the universe, source, whatever you want to call it, that I was done with this lesson, that it ends here now. The investigation took well over a year to complete. And at the preliminary hearing, the court determined there was sufficient evidence to proceed to trial. At this point, I had done a tremendous amount of work to heal. You name it: therapy, self-help groups, yoga and meditation, dance, transformational workshops, theta healing, all of this done with the intention to reclaim my life, my power, my happiness, and above all, to let go of any attachment to result regarding the outcome of the case. Don't get me wrong, I wanted justice, but this was no longer in my hands. I had done my part. I had reported it. So when those courtroom doors opened and I took my first step inside, I knew I was walking in a winner. The judge saw a confident, open, vulnerable woman who radiated presence and gratitude to speak her most authentic truth out into that room. This is the first gift we give ourselves when we report rape. It's an initial step on our journey of healing that we actually have control over. And from that singular moment, a world of possibility opens. This lesson was deepened for me years later when I had a spontaneous spiritual awakening. It was something akin to Ebenezer Scrooge's journey in A Christmas Tale. I was in a deep state of meditation and was suddenly guided by some unknown spirit, just like the ghosts in Dickens' story, showing me the history of my life experiences. The veil between our world and the great beyond dropped, and my consciousness merged with some greater knowing, a realm of non-judgment and pure unconditional love. A world of archetypes came alive. The roles available to us, the characters we can potentially act out in this great cosmic play we call life. Mother, father, child, parent, student, teacher, saint, sinner, winner, loser. Each one could not exist without the other. And in this world of duality, both expressions have the potential to exhibit healthy and unhealthy aspects. For the first time in my life, I had an ability to view rape from a place of spiritual awareness, and it brought me to my knees with compassion and empathy. I saw the wound between the masculine and feminine principles in humanity, and it is evident in the statistics. The US Department of Justice reports an estimated 91% of all victims of rape and sexual assault are female. And according to RAINN, nearly 99% of all perpetrators of rape are male. Please note that every single human being, regardless of gender identity or expression, carries both principles of masculine and feminine energies inside of them. During this spiritual awakening, I saw the wounds of the men who raped me. I saw their shame and how one of the ways this wounded masculine energy speaks out its pain is through violent behavior. The problem is, all their cry for help does is wound the other deeply. And when the violence goes unspoken, the cycle is naturally dictated to repeat itself. By reporting rape, I saw a movement taking place within survivors stemming from a divine feminine energy. From our wounded state, we reclaim the embodiment of its power and health. It is the energy of the Great Mother inside all of us. This feminine force is the creative vessel of life from which all things are birthed. A place that thinks and moves and responds from the heart. And in its infinite love and wisdom, it is able to acknowledge and understand the collective suffering inside all of us, the ancestral wounds that have been passed down to us for millennia. It sees no enemy. It simply births the medicine needed to transcend and transmute the suffering. A rapist needs as much healing as a survivor if we are ever going to curtail the cycle of violence. Imagine if we began to speak about rape from this place of understanding. When the judge read the verdict aloud in the courtroom, my heart knew that reporting it wasn't just for my healing. It was also for his. It was for yours. It was for all of us. Thank you.
Alejandra. Amazing. All right.
Thank you.
Amazing, amazing. Let me just start by saying your set every detail, what you're wearing, every bracelet, every single thing about your set and what you're wearing is so perfect and so deliberate. And you've created a sacred space that is so pure that adds to this talk exquisitely.
Thank you.
You're also, your light is shining so brightly that you're literally burning off my retinas. Your light is bright, so bright. It's so bright. So I just want to acknowledge that although we are dealing with computer screens, I feel your energy and your brightness so powerfully. The way you punch us in the gut at the very top is devastating. The very first line you give us, we're like, what? And it's amazing because you do it in a way that's very important and deliberate and conscious, and it's perfect. And we do not feel sorry for you at all. And that is the mastery of that opening line and the mastery of your delivery. Your ability to model and talk about what this experience is and was is extremely powerful for us, because your ability to talk about it so vulnerably and authentically makes us think, okay, what shame am I hiding behind? What am I not talking about or confronting? This incredible speaker is giving me her story. Maybe it's time to share mine. So everything that I know your desire is for this talk is going to happen. The way you connected your spiritual awakening with the Dickens story, it really helps us to relate to a spiritual awakening. There's a lot of spiritual awakening that is possible and that does happen that people, we just heard from Lisa, you know, they repress. So being able to connect it to a story that we all beloved, I think is really important. Talking about the realm and the unknowing is really powerful. I love that you introduce us to this way of thinking, and you also introduce us to archetypes, and you don't leave us hanging. You actually tell us what those archetypes are, which I think is really important. Then after the archetypes, you move into the stats of rape and survivors. And that's really an important and beautiful segue into the masculine and feminine energy, because it's a very massive concept. What you're talking about is a huge concept, right?
Right.
And you do it in a way that it gives us information a little bit at a time. You give us enough information so that we're on board and we can understand without necessarily having to wonder what it is you're talking about. But we still have research to do. We still have our own education and learning to do, but you give it to us in a way that's really, really powerful and palatable. Also, your choreography is extremely natural. It's exquisite. The way you move, again, it's sacred. You are stepping in, you're in a sacred space right now. And that was very apparent. Talking about the power of forgiveness and divine feminine energy, really, really beautiful. And that we need to claim our power and embody the feminine force within us. Also, again, giving us permission to go there. Not many people have the courage to talk about this or know how to talk about it the way you do so eloquently. So keep doing this. It's really, really powerful. And then the one thing that happened, you've been angelic this entire time, right? You delivered the line, a rapist needs as much healing as a survivor.
Yes.
You became human when you said that. And I was really glad you did. I'm not sure if that was conscious, but angelic, sacred, forgiveness, divine feminine. When you gave us that line direct to camera, it was like, hear me, people, hear me.
Okay.
Really, really beautiful. Well done.
Okay.
Amazing work. So proud.
I meant to say it like, this is a fact.
You did. You
okay,
did
good.
it. You did it. You went from angel to human being, and I loved it.
Okay, great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Amazing work. Thank you for tuning into the Big Talk. I would love to know what you thought of this incredible speaker. And if you have not yet subscribed, go ahead and subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you can get access to all of our upcoming episodes. And if you want to be on my big stage, go to thebigtalkacademy.com and give yourself an opportunity to also speak on the virtual showcase stage. Mwah. Big love, everybody.